Yo, top of the top, everybody. Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Said I was gonna do a quick live. I ain't never do no pre-recording, but I said I was gonna do a pre-recording. The reason why I'm gonna do a pre-recording is I won't be distracted by certain comments or, have to interact with certain things that might get me off my straight. First of all, I hope everybody's having a great day. But unfortunately, I'm just pulling this live to let people know I'm about to be backing out of this YouTube shit. Respectfully, I appreciate everybody that showed the support and the love through the ups and the downs. But YouTube is not for me. Y'all pay attention to certain stuff with this YouTube shit, y'all. And I just be thinking like, damn. Like every day in the world, unfortunately, there's people that just want to be who they are and live life the best way they can. And then there's some people that unfortunately, they just want to make up shit and be something that they'll never be, young and old. I experienced a lot of things in life where I thank Allah for certain things that he or she has given me as far as my spiritual, my mental, my physical, my financial, all of those blessings I have to love. YouTube was like therapy, like really therapy to me. I don't be understanding like certain things with YouTube, like the disrespect between people, like especially black people. Not even black people, the human race, because I just thought about that. If you put everything together, you put white, European, Chinese, black, Asian, Hispanic, foreign, domestic, we all the human race. I know people, everybody proud of their nationality, they're proud of their heritage, or so am I. But just because I'm proud of my heritage and my nationality doesn't mean that I will, just discontinue or put myself higher than anybody else. I don't think that's fair. Certain things you just shouldn't do. Like, seriously. To the YouTube people, man. You know what I was thinking about? Like, before you press live on YouTube, some people, when they press live on YouTube, they turn into a character. It's like lights, camera, and action. Me, same person that I am on YouTube, I'm everywhere in the world. Outside, inside, family, friends, foes. Because I'm always going to be respectful. But I've noticed YouTube has really been a part of the destruction with all of us. With all of us. Yeah, with all of us. With all of us. Mm-hmm. That's why I did this pre-recording and I'm going to premiere it. Because I didn't want no distractions. YouTube is crazy. Me initially, I like web series. Respect Life. Rest in peace, Boom P. Project Heat. Shout out to popping them over there in pink houses. Shout out to Bill Blass and them from Chauncey Street. They got the web series called The Brooklyn Way. Shout out to the guys from Jersey. They call themselves Mayhem. Shout out to the dudes from Atlantic Terminals. They have a web series called The Terms. Make sure y'all putting all these down because these is good web series. It's another one I'm trying to think about. It's about the dudes from East New York. It's going to come to me. You know what I'm saying? But originally I came on there for the web series. I've never came on YouTube to watch anybody talk about anything that they wanted to talk about. Now I did used to watch Queen's Flip. I was actually told about Queen's Flip from somebody else One of my mans used to watch YouTube, and he was telling me about Queen's Flip, because shout out to my man Rudy Lowe. My man Rudy Lowe was on Queen's Flip show. So when I watched the Rudy Lowe documentary, I did some history. I started looking at some of the shows. He had some great interviews up there. And I just, shout out to my man Demencio. He had Demencio's son up there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Shay from Brownsville. He had Shay up there. Queen's Flip and his partner, I think it's G Money. I watched him. As far as the YouTubers that's going back and forth with the disrespect, and I've never known of them. I've never known of them. I came on YouTube originally with my man, God bless the dead, Half a Mil. Y'all might know him. His name was James Ward from Albany Projects. We did a few freestyles together, And I also did a couple of freestyles with some guys I know in Lumberton, North Carolina, called the 41st Side. Yeah, they over there from 41. Shout out to my man Caddy and them. But the person that actually really introduced me to YouTube is Saint Laz. Shout out to my man Saint Laz. If y'all not subscribed, go subscribe to Saint Laz. STLAZ. Most prolific hood stories ever. I call him Geraldo Rivera, the hood therapist. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man L Famous. Shout out to my man Saquon. Shout out to my man Wise. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the dudes, you know what I'm saying, that came over there and told their stories. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Reggie Lowe. Shout out to my man Reg, man. They just did one on him the other day. Fire. Shout out to my man Reg, man. I don't really knock nobody for what they're doing, especially if they're trying to better themselves. I only knock people now, I'm going to tell the truth. I knock people that have evil intent within their heart. Like the niggas that come on YouTube and they just use this as a place to beg. Yeah, I'm talking to a lot of y'all. But, if that's what you want to do, that's just who you are. You know what I'm saying? The niggas that come on YouTube just begging. The ones that get on YouTube just to manipulate people and put together a show that's going to captivate somebody's mind is not even going to teach them anything. It's just going to have them under some type of hypnotic spell. And then when they hear certain words, the first thing they do is pick up their phone and go to their Cash App. I don't like people like that. My thing is, what if somebody in the street did that to your family members? What if your mother, what if your father, what if your brother, what if your sister? What if your children? What if somebody chose them just to manipulate them off their good heart and will for financial purposes? And then some of the YouTubers that come up here and look for certain things to say about certain people that may, stain people's names, or may bring up humor, or may bring up topics of discussion, or maybe just captivate and get people running their fucking mouths. I don't understand that, but I respect it too. I don't understand it, but I respect it too. Me personally, if you watch my shows, I really be talking about upliftment, secure and respect within your community, within your home, within your family, within your children, spreading real love. Always putting God first. Inshallah. Always putting God first. Because without God, it's nothing. Togetherness, unity. I joke and play sometimes, but I'm not really no clown. It's some people that they just want to get up and laugh and joke and talk vulgar and disrespect people and always have something crazy come out their mouth. I'm not knocking them for who they are. I'm just trying to explain something to y'all. I'm who I am. I don't get amusement. I don't get joy off of hurting people's feelings. I don't get joy off of watching other people go through turmoil or havoc. I don't get joy off of setting traps. Let's get into this. The reason why I carry myself a certain way is Because to tell you the truth, y'all, I didn't think I was going to ever see 21 years old. I never thought that I would have ever saw 21 years old. That's why I was a maniac. But I was a maniac because of a bunch of reasons. A bunch of reasons. Bunch of reasons. My mother was going to work. She was usually leaving 7 o'clock in the morning. She wouldn't get home about 7 at night. I get out of school at 2 o'clock, 2:30. So from like 3 to 7, I still got 4 hours, maybe 3 hours, 3 good hours to get in some mischief. So this is why I try to tell people, talk to your children. I know when you go to work, you be tired. I know certain times when you get home, you just want to just take a shower, or sometimes you're so tired you don't even want to get in the shower. You just go to a couch and sit down and try to get a breather and wind up waking up the next morning because you're tired. But when you wake up that next morning, I don't care if you have to wake up that child and talk to them. Wake that child up and talk to them and ask them about how their day was going. So many things going on in school right now: peer pressure, drugs, bullying. Bullying. I remember when I was younger, I too was picked on. Yeah, I too was picked on. I remember when I used to be just bullied for no reason because I come from a good family. Ain't that some shit? Because my grandmother and grandfather and my mother and father wanted something better for themselves, and they wanted something better for their families. Other children that unfortunately their mothers may have been confused and addicted to certain things: alcohol, drugs, sex, violence, trauma. Some people, parents, didn't have the time or the know-how to talk to their kids, to nurture their kids. They weren't as attentive as my parents were. Yeah, my mother was the one that used to lick her fingers and pull a coal out my eye. Yeah, my mom's was the one that put the Vaseline on your face when it was too cold going outside. Remember that? My mother was the one that she said, you know what, before I go to sleep, I need to see your work for today. I need to see your homework. I need to see what these people are teaching you in school. And my mother used to sign her name at the bottom of my homework. I used to get teased for crazy shit. Good clothes. My mother worked at Saks Fifth Avenue. I'm wearing corduroy, suede fronts and stuff like that. Certain kids that parents wasn't even washing them up or feeding them before they came to school couldn't understand that. Like, it was times I noticed I had friends that used to get up so early in the morning and go to school. The reason why they would get up early in the morning and go to school, because sometimes the night prior to that, they didn't have any dinner, so they was going to school for breakfast. They were hungry. You know, I used to get teased because people said I was too good to come to school to get free lunch and free breakfast. Let me tell you something. I don't know if y'all remember this in the summertime. They used to have free lunch in the public schools for the kids during the summer. I used to have to fight because I had friends that said I thought I was all that because I didn't want to go to free lunch. That's why I tell people, talk to your children, because as children, we don't know the degree of the things that we say or the degree of the things that we do. But one thing I can tell you, because I once was a child, and everybody watching this can also agree, because you once were a child, what we do is adapt to certain things we see. We adapt to drug usage. We adapt to sexual abuse. We adapt to following trends. We adapt to judging and criticizing people. We adapt to lifestyles. But back in the days when our parents and their parents was coming up, and their parents and their parents was coming up, it was so much evil going on in the world. they used to adapt to love. Whatever happened to adapting to love? It seems like today, like I did on one of my shows, if love really exists, does love really exist? Like, does love really exist? How many people out there would choose true love with someone in the street? Like, I mean, someone that you know scratch your back, someone that knows exactly how to get to that point on your back and scratch it because they've been with you so long. How many people would choose that and be in the street homeless with that, as opposed to being in a home with someone that you're just content with? Or as opposed to being in a home with someone that you don't even have a communication level with, but the only reason why you're in this home with them because y'all share the home because of split finances. It can't be love. I was told one time that certain things have to get in place, and then everything will be all right for me. Just imagine that, y'all. Imagine if you know somebody, you care about them, and you show them certain things that they can accomplish with or without you, but you give them a blueprint to the things that y'all could accomplish together, and they tell you, when I get certain things situated, then we can get to that. Like, I remember back in the days, man, before television and before cell phones and before clubs, before Louis Vuitton, before Dolce Gabbana, before Mercedes Benz, before Bentley, before Ferrari, before Maserati, before Lamborghini, it was love. Do y'all want to know my favorite show on television? Little House on the Prairie. Little House on the Prairie. Michael Landon with his wife, you know. These motherfuckers had to go to the bathroom outside. They ain't have no big fancy mansion. What they did have was land. And what they had to do was work to make sure that their crops would harvest so they can have money. Over that, they had love. They had so much love. You notice, I wish it could go back to the times when people didn't have cars no more, where it wasn't no trains. Just imagine it, y'all. It ain't no airplanes. It ain't no charter buses. There aren't even no cars with air conditioning. Let's just imagine this. Let's say we go back to where there were wagons being pulled by horses before streets and grounds were even paved. Just imagine that, y'all. Just imagine that to the people out there that have a family. Imagine that to the people out there. Just imagine y'all going on vacation. You're traveling all the way from, let's say, New York to Virginia, like we do, New York to North Carolina to see your family. But just imagine you're doing this on an old wooden carriage that's being pulled by 2 or 3 or maybe 4 horse. Think about it. You have to stop, give these horses some time to get some rest. You have to let them sleep. You have to keep them fed. You have to make sure that there's streams of water so they won't be dehydrated. You remember back in the days, them carriages and them they had little cloths that went over the top. Just imagine that. You and your lady, say you got 3 kids. The oldest is 11. Maybe say the second oldest is 9. The youngest is 4. Ain't no cell phones. Ain't no etch a sketch. Ain't no caller ID. Ain't no text messaging. I hate text messages. I hate them. You know what I hate? I hate some of the people. I hate whoever created cell phones. Do you know? And I hate whoever did this. Like if your phone is ringing, you could press a button and they give you so many categories you can give a person for the reason why you won't just answer the phone. Even got one that says custom, where you could just text a reason. Check this out. They got some shit called custom. Now you got to press the word custom, then it brings you to your text box. And then you got to text out a word or two or maybe a paragraph to express to them one reason why you couldn't just answer the phone. They even got one to say, yo, I'll hit you later. Talking right now, kind of busy. Then I tell y'all how I feel about people that when you call, they ignore your phone calls. Don't you know when them people calling you, they could be calling you to beg. They could be calling you to spread rumors. They could be calling you to gossip. They could be calling you about a death in the family. They could be calling you to tell you they just had a job, new job. They could be calling you to tell you about an addition to the family. Someone could have had a baby, but they also could be calling you to tell you because they just need somebody to talk to because they're going through something, man. Let me tell y'all something about me. There's so many things I wish I could talk to people about. So many things that I got in my heart. So many things that I have in my mind. You know why I don't talk to people about it? It's not because I'm worried about the ridicule or maybe the laughter or the humor or the jokes or something that might be said or maybe the disagreement. I'm not worried about that. That's not it. Certain things I don't talk to people about because I just don't want nobody to crush my light. No, don't you want some type of light that you could have for yourself that you could run to when everything around you just seems dark? To the real gangsters out there, you ever made love to a woman that you just didn't want to be around, but you was just horny? You ever made love to a woman that you was just backed up, abstinence? Just made love to a woman because you was horny, and then you just regretted the shit the minute after? To the women out there, have you ever felt like that? Have you ever knew, quote unquote, like the minute you got through, you just looked at yourself and said, why did I fuck this nigga? To the gangsters out there, to the gentlemen. Matter of fact, let's just use this word, to the adults, to the male adults. I want to talk to you for a minute. To the male adults, I want to talk to you for a minute. Are you doing everything in your ability as a man to display your character as a man to the world? Are you doing everything in your ability to display your discipline to the world? You know what I'm tired of, y'all? I'm tired of grown adults acting like children. I'm tired of niggas 40 years old and plus that surround themselves with young boys only to try to emulate young boys. Isn't it supposed to be the other way around? Aren't the young men that we surround ourselves, aren't they trying to, or supposed to be trying to emulate or aspire to be us? Yeah, this one gonna get a few of y'all upset. But I love you all. I love you all. Do you know if you're walking around displaying yourself as a clown, the young gangsters, the young men that's coming up, the young women that's coming up, they're going to think it's cool to associate themselves with clowns. A lot of you niggas don't even understand there's certain hours of the night that you're not even supposed to be in the street. Unless you get into a bag. Some of you niggas just want to roll up your marijuana or get you a bottle of alcohol and stand outside on the block and talk to other people that you know, quote unquote, ain't shit. The reason why you surround yourself with these people that ain't shit because you ain't shit. And because you know deep down inside you're not moving righteous, you try to make yourself look superior in front of other people that's in worse and more bad situations than you. I'm tired of you niggas. I'm tired of you niggas. I'm tired of you niggas that don't have your own apartment. I'm tired. I'm talking to all the niggas 40 plus. 40 plus. I'm tired of all you niggas that don't have your own apartments. And y'all sitting up shacking with these women. Because you went down to social services and you applied for an EBT card. So what they do, they give you a financial budget for food. So this woman that's paying these bills in this home, paying that light bill, paying that rent, paying that car note, just because you come in a house with free food that was given to you by the government, you think you have the right to stand up and put your foot down like a man, like a gangster supposed to. I'm here to have a conversation with you niggas. Yeah, I'm here to have a conversation with you niggas. I'm not just talking to you niggas on YouTube. I'm talking to people in the world. This goes to the dudes that's 40 years plus. I want to say 30 years plus. But you know, Jay-Z came out with that song, "The 30 is the new 20." And a lot of niggas is caught up in their second childhood. So they think 30 is really 20. So I'm going to let you dumbass niggas waste 10 years of your motherfucking life. So I'm going to say 40 plus. Y'all running around in these clubs, gravitating to these young boys. And you're not even teaching these young boys how to go home. A lot of you niggas is broke. And you're miserable. And you don't want to go home because the minute you go in your house, the woman is going to tell you, it's another day that went past that you don't have a job. You didn't bring no money in this motherfucking house, but you expect to get some pussy. I'm not fucking with you, nigga. So what you niggas do? Pardon me, y'all. I'm just rolling up. So what you niggas do? Y'all sit up in the club with these young boys. The 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know why I don't like y'all niggas? Because a lot of y'all niggas is broken. A lot of these young boys is out here getting to a bag. So y'all will keep them in the club to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because they're going to try to salute the fact that you're supposed to be the OG, and they're going to keep popping bottles. They're going to keep rolling up that loud, more and more getting off point. So now you got these niggas vulnerable because them niggas is really out in the street getting to a bag. It's other niggas looking, trying to get that bag from. I can't stand y'all niggas. Did you ever think that that young boy hanging out with you at the club that night that's going to put you in this car and make sure you get to your door because you're drunk and you're high could be followed by what the new word is, a op, and they could be waiting to kill him, and the minute he drop you off, or the minute they get in the car and follow you and get to the right mark, they pull up and ambush the car, you may get killed too. Do you notice how selfish a lot of you grown niggas is caught up in y'all second childhood? Instead of y'all telling these young boys to invest that money that they blowing in them clubs into an investment like a business, a laundromat, a game room, a car detailing business, a sanitation building business, going around to all these stores after they close down, cleaning up, getting a contract with these offices. Because you know them offices, when they leave the bags and the garbage, they pay companies to come in and take them little papers and stuff and put in brand new plastic in them bags and vacuum and so forth. But what we doing is we trying to be as popping as these young boys. Didn't we have our own life? Didn't we have our time and our term to be popping? In the alphabet, there's a small G, and then there's a big G. Pay attention. In the alphabet, there's a small G, and then there's a big G. Can I tell y'all the difference? The difference is, you know how we come up in the hood. Unfortunately, you notice I said the word hood. It's really supposed to be a neighborhood, but we call it a hood because the neighbor part of it is taken out. We're not neighborly to each other anymore. We're envious. We're jealous. We're judgmental. We're hurtful. We're crucial. We're disrespectful. We're uncompassionate to each other. So how could we be neighboring to each other? So back to what I said, in the hood, when you're a small G, we already traumatized. A lot of our parents were getting high. A lot of our parents were out there tricking. A lot of our parents was out there working 2 and 3 jobs and couldn't put the time into the children the way they wanted to because it was single homes. A lot of our mothers came home for 2 and 3 hours, went back to another job. For 2 and 3 hours, came back, got an hour or two sleep, went back to another job, just for a lot of us to wear them clothes that a lot of us didn't even say thank you. You know, it's a lot of people today that just want to take. When the last time y'all said thank you? But back to what I was saying, when you're a little G, they teach you how to be aggressive, heartless, ruthless, fearless, confrontational, bold. They don't teach us about God. They don't teach us about there's somebody in the world, or maybe somebody in our neighborhood, yet somebody in our same building that may be going through the same eternal stress that we go through every day? Do you know what it is to go through eternal stress and mental pain within? You know what it is to be grateful that you're alive, but just really, really wish sometimes you was dead? Did you hear what I just said? Do you know what type of shit, do you know what type of mental anguish that is to wake up every day grateful that you're alive, but the things that you're going to conquer and the things that you're going to go through, the obstacles that's going to be in your life, you just beg out to God, why don't you kill me? I've been there. I don't know if any of y'all have been there, but I've been there. It's a bad feeling. It's a bad feeling. Because that's when that young G, that young gangster come out. And unfortunately, a lot of you niggas over the age of 40 years old are still in the characteristic of a young G. But you're supposed to be the characteristic of a grown, an adult G. Large G, capital. Small G. Small G gangster. Capital G means growth. Capital G means, let me tell you the definition of a capital G. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? When you are a capital G, even if you tell yourself, I'm not going to stop hustling, hypothetically speaking. You tell yourself, I can't hustle the way I did when I was a little G, because the little G was confrontational, was bold and fearless, didn't care the fact that the police was sitting on the block. The little G didn't give a fuck that the fact somebody was killed or OD'd earlier that day. You're still coming out with that pack. But when you're a grown of a capital G, you have to say to yourself, maybe I need to stay out them police way for a minute while they trying to clean up this situation. See, the young G want to sit out there every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sun up to sundown, trying to get every possible dollar to come through. But the grown G, he might come outside Tuesday, Friday, Saturday night. On that Friday and Saturday night, he might make what that young G make in 3 weeks because of his patience. Because of his patience. A grown G, capital G, excuse me, knows he has responsibilities. Capital G isn't going to live with his mother or father. Capital G is going to have his own. So he's going to have responsibilities for his rent. He's going to have responsibilities to maintain his lifestyle. He's going to have responsibilities and discipline to maintain his hustle. So after so many years, remember, from the transcend of being a small G to a capital G, there should be an accumulation of money saved. You aren't in the street for nothing. So now look what you can do. Now you can take some of that money you saved up and start stacking up for a business like I was telling you about. Stacking up for supplies for cleaning up cars if you want to detail cars. You know, get you some Windex, you know, some air freshener, some carpet fresh, a little hand vac. You know, the certain essentials you may need to do detailing with a car. but you still get money. But let me tell you the greater part about it. Now, as you're getting older, you should be thinking about certain benefits. I'm trying to talk to the 40-year-olds, but you should be paying attention to this. If you're 30, you should be thinking about health benefits. You should be thinking about a 401k. You should be thinking about going to a job. Because let me explain something to you. Just because you have a job doesn't mean you don't have to have a other job. If you understand what I mean. See, it's a difference between a small G and a capital G. See, the small G, they want to go to the party every weekend because they're in the hopes of trying to see the chick with the fat ass or the provocative suit that's really displaying her characteristics, but this is what you're choosing. So in the long run, if you should happen to breed with this woman or go through the problems of dealing with a promiscuous woman, you ignore that because the first night you went out, you was looking for it. A grown G, you don't really fuck with clubs like that because we know the certain situations about how young boys get. We know the certain situations how broke niggas get. Because if you notice, the niggas that start fights, they be broke. Respectfully. Let me get some dice cubes if you believe that. The niggas that usually start the wars be broke. Notice even with the government. You know the government been going to wars with other countries for what? Like they've been going to wars with Iraq and all that for the oil, for the poppy seeds. They're going to war with them because they don't have the resources that they have. They don't have the oil fields, the pure, thick oil fields like that. They don't have the land over here that can produce poppy seeds that also produces heroin. So what they do, they going over there fucking with them niggas. Check what I just said, the broke niggas. I'm not saying that the government is broke, but they know the money that they can have with the alliance of Iraq. With oil. Yeah, they got oil in Dallas, Texas and all that, but it ain't the oil that's out there in Saudi Arabia. Google it. The purity is totally different. Yes, there's oil in Houston and Texas and all that. Remember the show Dallas? J.R. Ewing? But it's not like the oil that's in Saudi Arabia. Don't you know back in the days, even from Sanford and Son, when they had somebody coming from the Middle East, they had them niggas with the shades and the chic hats and all that with the purity because them niggas was rich. Them niggas money different, man. You see how them niggas was living in Dubai. What you think, none of them niggas hustling? You think none of them niggas don't bust their gun? No, them is capital G's. Them is capital G's. People don't want to talk about reality. I do. That's why I can't keep doing YouTube because it's starting to irk my spirit. Because when I get on YouTube every day, I see the constant narratives. I want to know if this one is telling. I want to know if this one is gay. I want to know if this one is a sucker. I want to know if this one is tough. I want to know if this one was fighting. I want to know if this one was getting beat up. I want to know if this one likes girls. I want to know if this one likes, well, yo, check this out. It's too much stuff niggas want to know that I don't. I want to know if God is coming back sooner than I thought. Because they said God is going to come back when the what? Euphrates River dries up, which is the Nile River. Not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about the actual Nile River, which is actually drying up. They say that river was created after God punished 4 angels that came down to earth that bred with humans. The punishment is they were supposed to stay under the sea. And once that sea dried up to the fact where it was dry as the desert, these angels were supposed to be released from a curse that was over 400 or 500 years to do what? Put wrath on destruction and anything other or unlike God. Google this shit. That's why I was on YouTube. That's why I come to YouTube. I come to YouTube for peace. I come to YouTube for certain things to get off my mind. I don't come to YouTube like some of these niggas that be looking for broads. I don't give a fuck about bitches like that. I've been getting money all my life. I ain't never had no problem getting no woman. And I damn sure don't need YouTube to get no woman. Let's get that straight. So to the women on YouTube that actually come to YouTube in the hopes of trying to get with the YouTuber, I pray for you more. I pray for you more. I'm going to get to the women too. But I just feel like talking to the men. Because I'm holding y'all responsible. Excuse me, I'm rolling up. I don't want people to see me rolling up. I'm holding y'all responsible for the bullshit that's going on in this world. You got people that come up on platforms just to talk buffoonery, like white people say. They gave us an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to talk to somebody and teach somebody something and give somebody a real side, at least a real side of our life from our angle. From our angle. I don't think that the opportunity was gave to us to come up here to talk about each other. I don't think the opportunity I don't think this opportunity was bestowed upon us to get up here and look at each other and say, yo, I don't like you because your face is light. I don't like you because your legs are long. I don't like you because you don't listen to the music I like to. I don't like you because you had on the green jacket today and I had on the red one. Like, it's like some of the dumbest things that I hear on YouTube that breaks my heart. And I'm not going to front y'all. The shit is really starting to like bother me. This shit is like breaking my heart, y'all. I know this shit may sound like a joke because, you know, there are some uncompassionate people. Matter of fact, you know, it's them super tough guys on YouTube. Woo, woo, woo. I'm never going to be none of them. Nah. I'm one of the ones that still have a heart. I'm one of the ones that, tell you the truth, pray that us as a people, I'm not talking about black. I'm talking about us as a people. Black, white, green, Puerto Rican. I don't care what color you are. As long as you live, and I just pray that we come together as a people one day and just stop hating on each other, because it's, yo, don't y'all understand how precious life is? And tell you the truth, if I'd have knew it was so much wildness on YouTube with people being disrespectful and stuff like that, and people just coming on YouTube to scream at people or holler at people and all that, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'd have never came on YouTube. I would have never, I'm so, I think about certain things. I would have never came on YouTube. Because in real life, I know if you walk around promoting violence, or you walk around promoting or igniting war, it's like an old saying, you're rubber and I'm glue. Because usually what I say bounces off of you and sticks back onto me. Get it? You're rubber, I'm glue. So meaning, if you're projecting negative energy, it's going to boomerang back to you. If you're projecting love, it's going to boomerang back to you. I think that went over your head. If you're projecting love, that shit is going to come back to you in abundance. But if you are projecting war, listen to what I'm saying to you. It's going to come back to you so harder. And it might not even affect you. It might affect somebody you love. It might affect somebody you love, like your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your child, your grandchild. Don't you know the sins of the parents don't fall on us, they fall on our children? That's why I get so upset, because a lot of you YouTubers forget in the future, one day, our children and our children's children are going to watch what we broadcast. And a lot of you niggas look like fucking clowns up here. I ain't going to lie to you. You're disrespectful, you're vulgar, you're unintelligent, you're unarticulate. You can't even keep content. You can't even keep a conversation. You go straight way off content. That's why I said from now on, a lot of my shows I'm gonna start doing by myself. I'm gonna rock with this StreamYard until this shit expires, and then I'm done. Because first of all, like I said, one thing about this platform, respect the Team Guardian. But I don't really do the buffoonery. We different over here. I don't like trolls. I just found out last night it's a dude or a woman or a child that's using my name, y'all. So look out for this to all y'all podcasts. If you see something that says The Big Dice Chronicles and you do not see my avatar, that's not me. It's two of them. One of them is the real ghost of Utica Avenue, Big Dice. And then one of them is the Big Dice Chronicles. To both of y'all, whoever y'all are, respectfully suck my dick. May your kids get raped. Yeah, so I don't want nobody to say nobody influenced me to say this or because I was in a certain way. Whoever is trolling, especially using my name, suck my dick. I hope your kids get raped. I hope your mother get raped. Please come from behind that avatar and tell me who you are. Because the shit that I'm saying, I would want somebody. I hope your kids get raped. Whoever's using my name anywhere, I hope your kids get raped. I hope your mother get raped. I hope your grandmother get ran over by a car. I hope your fucking daughter get raped. That's just how I feel. I'm on my Artist Morrison shit. I feel how I feel. Because that's the most crazy and disrespectful shit. I just did a show the other night, y'all. I hate trolls. That's why when they come over to the Big Dice Chronicles, they get dealt with accordingly. You got grown-ups. If you ever was a troll, suck my dick. If you ever was a troll to anybody, suck my dick. And I don't even play that game. I don't say SMD. I mean this from my heart, disrespectfully. If you ever was a troll, if you ever played on anybody's platform, mine's anybody else's platform, suck my dick. May your kids eat bowls of shit. May your mother get raped in a nursing home. One of my mans told me the other day, nah, chill, son, because certain niggas is trolls, and I even got certain trolls now that once was trolls with me, now they friends. And I told my man, that nigga that whoever or whatever was a troll before you, the nigga's a fucking clown, and he's weird. And you weird for accepting that shit, my nigga. You weird for accepting that shit. You weird for accepting some of the disrespectful shit you go through in your life anyway. That's why I'm gonna start distancing myself from away from a bunch of you niggas. A lot of you niggas is getting up on YouTube with these false stories like y'all gangsters ain't never did shit. A lot of you niggas get up on these stories with these false narratives about how y'all positive in the hood and how y'all got it popping and how y'all got it locked and y'all ain't doing shit. If you really had it popping and you had it locked the way you said you was doing it, you wouldn't move the way you move, man. With certain power comes respect. With certain power comes obligation and duty. And I can tell by the way you niggas look, y'all ain't used to none of that conversation. Now let's get to the women. I love y'all. From the bottom of my heart. Without women, there would be none of us, male or female. Because of you, the world continues to grow. I remember there was a topic on my show one night about how a woman needs a man to have a child and how a man needs a woman to have a child. That's correct in both forms. We need each other. A woman cannot have a child by herself unless she goes to an artificial insemination plant, and they're going to give her fertilized eggs that are being kept in a freezer. These eggs are still, this sperm is still coming, fertilized sperm kept in a freezer. This sperm is still coming from a man. You can't make sperm. Not that I know of yet. I ain't never heard DNA just making up no motherfucking sperm. And it takes for a man and a woman to come together to create a life. And you're right, that beautiful womb that you have and that embryo that creates that beautiful sac and that beautiful life that you produce, yes, we need each other, but you can't do it by yourself. There's a lot of you women out there that have babies, but y'all not mothers. And that's a fact. Y'all not mothers. There's a lot of y'all out there that grandmothers, and y'all not grandmothers. At least not the definition of a grandmother that I know. Grandmothers don't hang out in the middle of the night. The only time you see grandmothers out during the night is if they're going to bingo or they're going to a church meeting. Grandmothers don't sit up drinking all night with their homegirls. Neither do grandfathers. Grandfathers occasionally come out and have a sip with their brothers and sisters and family members and have their ass back in the house and be asleep before 9 o'clock at night. See, real grandmothers, they go to bed them early times too, because real grandmothers wake up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because usually they're preparing food or preparing some coffee or setting a smooth tone for the household because their man is getting ready to go to work or their man is getting ready to get up, because usually them grandfathers get up early too. Grandmothers don't be partying all night with hangovers, waking up the next morning 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Damn, bitch, I had a long night. You're not a grandmother. You're just a person of age that has a child that has a child. Do you know the responsibility that comes with the word grandmother and grandfather? You notice the grandfather and the grandmother is the creator of all civilization. They create their children, and then return their children create their children, and then in return their children create their children, so forth and so forth. And that's how a family line is being spread. You didn't ever hear anything about a grandfather just starting a whole line or a lineage by itself. You never heard about a grandmother starting a whole lineage or a line by herself. You may have heard of a grandmother having 10, 12, 13 babies, but she's also had that man with her to help her make them children. And that constant guidance with each other, that love and that bond and that rapport that they build with each other every second of the day to the day that they die is the reason why they can look back at their family so proud. You got a lot of you women caught up in your second childhood too, because when you was younger, you may have had children. That don't mean you're now supposed to be out in the street running around, shaking your ass. A lot of you women have your priorities messed up. Y'all want to go to crazy ass, foolish events. Y'all want to go to this event that may be $400. You might want to go to this event that may be $500. You might want to go to this event that may be $100 to get in. But then you want to go to a store and you want to buy an outfit for that particular event. You don't want to buy an outfit because you need clothes. You want to buy an outfit for that particular event because, you know, you can't be looking regular. You can't let nobody outshine you. See, that's the problem with a lot of y'all women. To the women that have no children and don't have them responsibilities, I can't do nothing but tip my hat to you. You're paying your bills. You're going out. You're partying. You're living your life the way you want to. You don't have obligations. Some of you don't even have a man, or some of you don't even have the heart to even submit to a man. There's a lot of women out there that have been through some horrific things, and they're so aggravated with life and aggravated with the hand that was dealt to them, they won't even give a dude a shot. But they will give them some pussy. Ain't that some shit, y'all? You won't give a dude a shot, but you'll give him some sex. Like they said, they got the new thing now. What is it? Friends with benefits? Usually friends with benefits come with what? One or two benefits from both parties. Either the male is getting benefits pleasurably by flesh, by sex, maybe oral, maybe vagina, whatever so be, whatever type of freaks people got going on in their mind. And then the woman, 8 out of 10 times, she'll be like, yo, fuck that. That nigga paying all my bills. I'm the only one that heard that. I hear a lot of times when people say friends with benefits, I don't be hearing how the woman say, damn, that nigga had me busting back to back, girl. I was so weak I couldn't even walk to the bathroom when he got through. That nigga laying down his real pipe game. I don't be hearing that. I don't be hearing like, yo, girl, when I met him, I thought he was a clown. I was gonna play with him, but you know what? I'm starting to like the nigga. I'm growing on him. Matter of fact, bitch, I done fell in love with him. I don't hear that. But you know what I do hear? That nigga paying my bills. I don't want for nothing. Bet you when I call that nigga, he come bring me that money because he want this pussy. Respectfully, this is why I did this live without the interference, because I didn't want nobody to go crazy. Let me explain something to you women, what y'all are. You're prostitutes. I'm not going to call you whores because that's a different degree and a different description of a person, but you are prostitutes. So the next time you tell your homegirl, oh, that's just my friend, but he be paying my bills. Yeah, I'm fucking him every now and then. You're a prostitute. You're getting fucked for someone to pay your bills. You can pay your own bills. You can go buy a dick. They got sex stores now that sell them shits. See, this is why I don't be really trusting people and I don't understand nothing. If it's really about a nut, why you don't go, what's that new shit them women got? Go get your little rose. I heard them shits got bitches damn near peeing at the goddamn sky, squirting, hollering, screaming, jumping around, loving themselves. They got reviews on them, great reviews. Women, if that's the case, if you're sexually privileged or frustrated like that, go get you one of them little roses or buy your master, a vibrator, a dildo, whatever you need, you know what I'm saying, to keep the self-respect of the fact that you are not letting a man spirit invade your spirit just because of sexual pleasure, because of sexual frustration, because that makes you look like a whore. You know, you can go online now, even to the men running around, just they got pocket pussies now. You can go online now. If it's really a thing about you with sex people, women, you got to start loving yourself. You got to start understanding your worth. You got to start understanding that sometimes in life, you're just going to have to go through things. This is God testing you with your faith in God. Just because you're going through something don't mean to go meet some nigga to fuck him and pass time. Nah, don't do that. Don't you know you're destroying yourself and you're killing your heart? Because when you meet this nigga that you're going to fuck for a few months or maybe a year, something like that, to pass time, and that whole time you're building up an anger within yourself because you know that nigga is not for you and you know you're not for him. And deep down inside, a lot of times y'all are good people just in bad situations and you know you might be hurting somebody. So why can't we grow up as a whole? I'm talking about men and women. That's why me particularly started the Big Dice Chronicles. I didn't start this shit for people to get up here and say, yo, Dice is here, or Dice isn't there, or da la la, or fuck this nigga and his moms, or fuck this kid and his son, or this dude is tall, or this dude is fat, or this girl is stupid, or this girl can't walk. I don't care nothing about that type of shit. And one thing I'm definitely not into is begging for no fucking money. A lot of you niggas up there that supposedly get into a bag and y'all niggas up here every 5 minutes talking about you need a cash app. I pray for you niggas, man. I pray for you niggas, man. To everybody, men and women, do me a favor. If you don't get nothing from this live, man, love yourself. Because if you don't, who else will? Another day alive, another day free. Yo, why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? I love you all. Salute.